And hello, welcome YouTube. Welcome to this video where we talk about different meshing techniques on OpenFOAM Intermediate. So I won't be using OpenFOAM in this video per se, but I'll be talking about different meshing software that you can use. So we talked about FreeCAD and how one would use FreeCAD in conjunction with SnappyHex Mesh to produce what you see here. So this was a mesh made by FreeCAD SnappyHex Mesh, and you'll have the different boundaries as was talked about before. And you will have the inlet hemisphere, then you'll have this tubing portion, then you'll have the outlet hemisphere and the outlet. Yeah, so okay, so this mesh, I mean, on the surface, of course, it looks okay-ish. Yeah, it looks okay-ish, right? Looks like a nice poly tetrahedral-ish kind of mesh. All right, and it looks almost okay to run. All right, unfortunately, okay, if we were to run the check mesh, if we were to run check mesh, it will say that it will fail on mesh check. And the thing about this is that you got to, play around with block mesh and SnappyHex Mesh, to see whether you can get the correct mesh size. So if you look at the slice plot, I mean, this you will see. Let's see, what is this? Why is it blank? Okay, surface with edges. Never mind. Let's do another slice filter. Oh, that's a clip plot. Wrong plot. So a slice plot. Alright, so you'll see filter, and we'll use a solid color. Oh, that is strange. Okay, whatever. Never mind. But eventually, you get this kind of mesh. That's what I'm saying. All right, I wasn't selecting the internal mesh. I have to select internal mesh in order to make it work. I was only selecting the boundaries. So let me use the internal mesh, and let me put a slice plot in there. Okay, so this is the slice plot of it. If you want to look at it from the Z direction kind of a thing. Okay, surface with edges, wireframe will be like so, and you can see this is the resultant mesh that you will have. Not the best, but not the worst. If you want a Y normal plot will be as such. Okay. Yeah, there you go. I mean, you won't see layers added because there was some problem actually with this layer addition process. Okay, there was some problem with the layer addition process, so they did not add layers. I mean, if you play around with SnappyHex Mesh and Block Mesh, you will have that kind of effect going on. So what you'll have is what you see on the screen here. However, the check mesh fails, so I mean, like, yeah, you're flying blind with this, so may not be the best idea. The next alternative, I mean, if you want to continue playing with block mesh and SnappyHex Mesh until you get the right mesh and you change certain parameters, you can go ahead, be my guest. But that's to me, it's a really very big headache to do at times. So I don't exactly like that. So I always prefer something, I mean, less effort is nicer, especially if someone's already developed tools. So what I'm coming to is this tool called Salome, which it's a very highly requested. People were requesting me to go and do some videos on Salome, and me getting headaches with SnappyHex Mesh, it's enough. I got enough of those headaches already. Even though, yeah, you roughly know how to use SnappyHex Mesh, but doesn't mean it's easy to master. It is not easy to master, especially you have to enter commands one at a time. and you have to keep do this trial and error thing. So there are a lot of videos for you to install Salome. You can take a look. Some of them may be outdated and all that, but I'm just going to show you the 9.5 version. Now, downloading and installing it is pretty simple. Okay, you need to make sure you have at least 10 to 15 gigs of space, because this zip file is 3.4 GB, as you can see here. If you want to use the Linux version, it is 3.4 GB, but the actual when you extract everything out, it will be 7 gigabytes of space. So not a very small file, because they give you the full suite pre-installed. Okay, if you want the Windows bit, there's a 774 MB one. Okay, this Windows 10 64 bits. You can download on your Windows machine and run it straight away. Don't have to do too much with the install, because if you download, it will give you an exe file. The exe file, just double click and run. Now, if you're on Linux, it's slightly different. Depends on the distribution you have. I mainly use the Linux Mint distribution, whether it's Linux Mint Debian Edition or the standard vanilla Linux Mint. I'm using Linux Mint 20 now. So, okay, if I run neofetch, neofetch will give me, I have this Linux Mint 20. So Linux Mint 20 is based on Ubuntu 20. Now, Ubuntu 20 is not listed over here at this point in time. It may be in the future, I do not know. But the closest thing to Ubuntu 20 is Ubuntu 18.04. Okay, so this is the one I downloaded. If you are using Debian, you can use this Debian 10 Buster or Linux Mint Debian Edition number 4. LMDE4 is based on Debian 10 Buster. Okay, so you download this one over here. Right, let me zoom in. Okay, I accept the use of cookies, thank you very much. Yes, if you're on CentOS or Fedora, you can do other things as well. If you're not on any of this, you can use this Universal Linux library. But today I'll be demonstrating the Ubuntu one, because it's so common for Linux. So what you do is just download this. This is a 3.4 gigabyte file, right? And I'm not going to do any of that today. Alright, so I'm not going to download because I already downloaded. And let's say you downloaded it, you would be like over here. Okay, I did not. Okay, for example, it will be in your download folder. I shifted it from my download folder into a Salome folder right here. Okay, so these are some files I was playing with just now, and this was the actual file you do if you extract it. So let me delete this. And that is a lot of files. You can see it's almost 5 gigabytes. Okay, so I have my STL file here of this ready to be imported into Salome. So let's show you how to basically install and run. It's pretty simple. Okay, so you just basically go into this folder. All right, go into this folder. I call it Salome, where your tar folder is. Very simple. Tar is just like zip. So it says sudo tar xzvf. Okay, Salome blah blah blah. And I'm going to type in my password, and it's going to unzip everything. Why did I put xzvf instead of xfz? Okay, the V stands for verbose, so it means it will print out whatever it is extracting. And as you can see, ParaView 5.8 is included into this package. So if you want to save space, and you can just uninstall ParaView here. This is 5.7, because when you install this version of Salome, 7 gigabytes worth, ParaView comes pre-packaged into Salome. So yeah, ParaView comes pre-packaged into this version of Salome, and you don't really need to bother too much later on. But of course, I'm leaving it on. I'm more used to the traditional way. Okay, and you will see that after a few minutes, it is basically done. Everything is all done here. Alright, once you're in that folder, you can see all the Salome's been extracted. Now all you need to do is this. You see that you have a set file here, mesa salome, salome bin salome. Okay, so what are you supposed to do here? Alright, let's see what the website says. The website says change directory to where you extracted your Salome files. So this is where you extracted your Salome files. And all you have to do is just to run Salome. What are you actually running? You're actually running a script. Okay, you're running a script, and this is, I believe, it may be a Python script. See, it's a Python script. So it's going to user bin environment Python 3. So this is loading the, I think it's loading the Python environment for you. So all this is Python code. Okay. So it says this file is automatically generated by Salome tools. So you can kind of overwrite it anytime you want. But it is a Python script. And like all scripts, you need to make sure it is runnable and you can run it. So if not, you have to change the read and write, like using chmod 755, etc, etc. But for us, we don't need to. It's already green in color. I hope you're familiar with chmod. So, and I assume you're familiar. If you are at OpenFOAM Intermediate by this time, you should know what chmod is. Okay. If not, please go and look at my beginner videos or go and Google it. But okay, Salome, very easy to do. Just run it like any all run or all clean file. Just type Salome and it will start to run, and Salome will be up and running for you. All you need to do, okay, you're on this Salome interface with a GUI. You can see that ParaView comes pre-packaged with this version of Salome. You can actually open. Yeah, you can actually open, okay, I'm not opening per se. Let's file, open ParaView file. Okay, so if you want to run ParaView in Salome, this is kind of a bit, redundant. But go to File, Open ParaView file, and you can actually go to it has to be a STL file here. Of course, you can run OBJ files as well. I don't think that's an issue. Okay. There are lots of files you can run, so VTKs, binary files, etc. But this is the standard STL file, and you can see it runs perfectly here. So that's the ParaView work thing. So if I want to do a OBJ file, I can do as well, and I just apply, and the OBJ file is open here. This is ParaView 5.8, so you run it as if it were ParaView 5.8, though the interface is slightly different. More or less it's the same thing. Okay, you can change it to surface with edges, and you'll do pretty much what you expect ParaView to do. Okay, very simple. So this is ParaView within Salome. Okay, so this is as downloaded from the website. Nothing too much. You can go to Salome. You can go to this mesh toolbox here. See this under Salome, under this toolbox, you can see this mesh. All right, and what you can do is import a file. Go under File, Import STL file, and import any STL that you want. And you just press open, and if your mesh is invisible, go to the left hand side, and just like FreeCAD, you have this toggle visibility by clicking on this eye icon on the left hand side, and here is your STL file over here. And basically I use my mouse wheel button to scroll in and out, and I can select the whole STL file here, no problem. Okay, so this is probably how you can import and export STL files, which are generated by FreeCAD, so no problem. So that's basically how you run Salome. Very easy. Close this thing. I'm going to shut down everything. Don't save anything. Okay, and delete everything, blah blah blah, and Salome is not running anymore. Okay, so I mean there are a few ways to run. You can run it from the terminal, you can run it like so, just double click on this and it will run the program straight away. So you say, do you want to run Salome or display its contents? Run in terminal. Yeah, anyway, so this is how you do Salome. I mean, okay, sorry, and this one is closed. You can run it like so. Just double click, run in terminal if you're doing Linux Mint. So you run it as if it were an executable file. So if you want to run it on Linux Mint or Ubuntu, just make sure it's running in terminal. You run that same Salome script, Python script, it will start Salome up very nicely. So shut down everything, and then you let the terminal close on its own. You can also run this bin Salome here. Okay, and then you just run it in terminal. It will do pretty much exactly the same thing. Bin Salome is basically stands for binary Salome, meaning to say it will just run Salome as it is. Both of these are pretty much the same file. Okay, they are pretty much the same file. So the bin Salome is kind of a backup in case you want to run something differently. Okay, so if you ever want to read up more on the tools, you go to the readme file here. Okay, open up the readme file in Vim or whatever you want. So basically you can do this. So you can create a Salome launcher, but you don't really need to. This one will make a binary installation, a binary file, so it will basically like run it. Okay, but you don't really need to. Okay, so what's it over here? What's in the readme file? Basically it tells you the binary, it tells you how to run it. Okay, it can tell you how to do some go to the source file, and I guess it's I'm conjecturing, I'm guessing that it's there for updates. I'm guessing it's there for update. In case you don't know what this set here is for, it is actually this SAT file. This is a Salome tool file. Okay, where did I get that piece of information from? Okay, it says this package includes a version of Salome tools, or set. It is a suite of tools to manage operations on your applications, either to get source, compilation, test, or packaging. So that's if you want to tweak your Salome what do you call that? Salome installation. And it's always, I mean, it's nice to know. You don't really need it, as you see. It works out of the box, just by default, it works out of the box, at least for this Linux Mint 20. I'm sure for other Ubuntu-based distributions, it should work very well too, or even the Debian ones. Okay, so it tells you build Salome 9.5.0. Okay, so you don't really need to do this unless you want a custom install kind of a thing. Okay, if you want to have a Salome tools, if you want to do Salome tools, okay, you can use this bash script. You say if you are using bash, you can have completion for set by running root Salome tools complete set.sh. So basically that's just asking you to run a file. Where is this root directory? This root directory is basically where you extracted your Salome files. So this is the so-called root directory. So you go to Salome tools and you look for this complete set.sh. You can open it in terminal and then you just do the source complete set.sh. Okay, you just run this complete set.sh and that will do what is inside the readme files here if you want to sort of do your Salome tools. Okay, so if you do source complete set.sh, it will basically run everything in this file here, and that will allow you to run. But again, in my opinion, this is all redundant. You can just run Salome here, so yeah, why would you do that? Okay, so hopefully that clarifies how to run, download and install Salome. It is pretty trivial task. if you ask me. But the thing is, you won't be able to find it inside your what do you call it? You won't be able to find it inside your start menu or anything by default. It won't be a package, you know, that you install. I mean, you won't have a sudo app install or anything like that in there. So you have to run it like as if it was standalone. It's like running a bit different. Okay. Now, if you want to make a shortcut, you can, I believe, you can do a Control Alternate Shift, and drag it to the desktop. Okay, I mean it won't look nice. Okay, I'm going to delete this one because I was trying it just now. Control Alternate Shift, drag Salome to the desktop, and it will have Salome here. Then you can run it from the desktop, run in terminal, and it will start the Python file and run Salome. Okay, so this is if you want it on the desktop, you can, and then if you close it, then you will just auto close this terminal bit here. Nothing too complicated there. Okay, so thanks for watching. Hope that clarifies how to install Salome. I will leave this video's description, this website in the link. You can download this thing yourself, and have fun working with Salome. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.